morning.
Good morning.
My name is Kay Wallace. My company is Tools2Connect, and I am the marketing consultant for Small Business Development Center here in Ventura County. So I'd like to introduce my team to you that I brought with me this morning. First up, we have Tyler, who's actually videotaping. We're doing this for a new project that we're working on nationally. And then also my office manager, which is Sharon Uloff, and my business coach, which is Yvonne. So travel with my team. If there's any questions you have or during this or afterwards, please feel free to connect with one of us. So I want to talk to you about, you're all retailers, am I correct?
Primarily. We've got
primarily retailers, okay. So when I talk, they asked me to talk about customer service, and I'm going to put a little bit different spin on it. And what I'd like to ask you, any of you, what do you do as a customer service tool? What do you do for your customers after they purchase something or after they leave your business? Not before, not when they come in, but after they leave. Can anybody answer that question for me? Yes.
I send them an email, and then I also send them a handwritten thank you card.
You send them a handwritten thank you card.
First I send them an email if they were happy, and then I send them the thank you card.
Great. Okay, that's awesome. Anybody else? Yes.
I get their phone number and call them a week later, make sure that everything's okay.
Okay, awesome. And what is your business?
I have a tire store here in town, 5-day tire.
Tire store. Okay, that's awesome. So these are great tools. So what I want to talk to you about is those of you who have a difficult time grasping that information or don't know how to do that. So I was here a couple of weeks ago, and I came as a tourist on purpose. And I walked up and down the street, went into a lot of the shops and stuff, and I wanted to see exactly what you guys had in terms of getting that tourist or that customer, how you're retaining them. And so what I discovered was there's all these little things that you guys can be doing that are not active, but very passive to try to get people in your loop, so to speak. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. How many of you are familiar with Yelp? Anybody? How many businesses are on Yelp? Great. Do you have reviews on Yelp? Awesome. Suggestion. I'm in the process of trying to get some at the moment. I don't have any. See if you can get a Yelp claim to put in your window. That lets your tourists and all your customers know that they can check in on Yelp. They can go to reviews on Yelp. Ask people that says, you're on Yelp, they'll be more apt to give you your reviews. A lot of the younger generation, we call are Yelpers. My daughter's 22, she's a Yelper. She doesn't go anywhere or do anything without yelping at her. So that's just one way. How about Foursquare? Anybody on Foursquare? Awesome. So I'm going to give you Sharon, if you don't mind. I did bring a few links on Foursquare. If you're on Foursquare, raise your hand. Sharon's going to come around and give you a claim to put in your window. Again, another way to check in. And if you're not on Foursquare, you might want to consider that. It's another way for people to check in your business. And we're going to talk about how this is important or why this is important in just a moment. So another thing I want to talk about is Facebook. How many of you have Facebook pages? Okay, if you have a Facebook page, make sure if you're a brick and mortar business that your place page is claimed. What does that mean? That means people can check in. Now, Facebook, if you're a retail environment, they have already populated your place page. You don't have to go do it. But what happens a lot of times is businesses will go through and they will say, okay, we need a business page, and they build it, well, not realizing that Facebook, through Bing, has already created your place page. Does that make sense? Or have I lost everybody? My point is you can merge those two. Again, it's about check-ins. People that come into your business, you want them to check in. Here's why. It tells in their entire network where they are. So what does that do to your marketing? What does that do to your customer service? You can now go back and talk to them. see them. Engage them on Facebook, on Yelp. So now you have another touch point rather than walking out your door and then that's it. Emails, newsletters. There's many different ways to do that. I did notice a number of you had at your desks a sign-in sheet. I noticed a couple stores had their sign-in sheet at the back of the store. So placement is very important. Put it where people are checking out. Again, another customer service point to get them into loop so you can talk to them on a later basis. So sending them an email, a newsletter, handwritten card. That is an awesome way to do things. Getting their address, getting their email, as you mentioned, getting their phone number. Any of these forms are very important. Here's something else I want to mention to you that I saw very little of, which is a very simple thing. Business cards. I noticed that a lot of the desks, there weren't business cards. That sounds simple, right? It's a very quick, you know what? I'm in a hurry. I may not buy anything right now, but I'm coming back here in a month or so. I can take your card, I can find you, I can email you, I can call you. But I noticed business cards were hard to locate. So does that help anybody? Are you following me so far as some of these customer service points? You don't have to do them all, but they're just a small part of that customer service. You've got them in the door once. Get them back in the door and remarket to them. Promotional products. And if you notice, you have on your table, put a pin. This isn't mine. This is a gentleman that actually does all my promotional products. But it doesn't have to be a pin. It doesn't have to be, but something, a takeaway. So that customers come in, they can take it away. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be something very simple, but they take it with them. It's another customer service tool. You want to be where they're looking. And you want to be able to remarket to them on a regular basis. So as much information as you can possibly get. That's the information you want. Mobile apps. Anybody have a mobile application in here? Awesome. What is your business?
I own a retail store, Beyond Main. I have that, but I don't know what it does or if it works we're working on it.
Okay, perfect.
And I bought the username, so I have it.
Okay.
I just don't have it set up yet.
Okay, so guys, everything's going mobile. So I'm talking about checking in on Facebook, I'm talking about checking in on Foursquare and Yelp and all that. Where are they doing that? Are they carrying their laptop with them? No, it's their phone. So something to consider is a mobile app. You can interact with them, you get push notifications, so you don't have to send that email out. It's automatic. If you're having a sale, you can do text services, all of that through a mobile app. And they're not that expensive anymore. So again, it's that customer service. You're getting them in the loop. Make it easy for them to do business with you. Something else, Twitter. It's another form just like Facebook. So, you can do is at downtown Ventura in general. You guys can have a downtown Ventura app. A Twitter account. You can all participate in that. Or you can have your individuals. So I'm just giving you some ideas to brainstorm. These are not answers for your business that you have to walk out of here to do today. These are just options for you to consider what might work for your business. QR codes. Does anybody know what a QR code is? All right. That's a QR code. And you've seen these little square things. Much like you go to the grocery store and there's a barcode. Well, these are little square things, and they can take from your mobile phone. They can take your customers anywhere you want them to go. Website, a sale, your Facebook, your Twitter, anywhere you want them to go, you can take them there by QR code. They're very inexpensive, very simple. You can put them in your window. Again, anything in your windows is bringing them in the door so you can keep that customer service get them in the loop so you can remarket to them. We talk about business cards, merchant services, credit card. That's just something, I don't know how many, I'm assuming all of you take credit cards, that type of thing. Take a look at your merchant services. That's just another, that's something for you internally, for you to save a little money. Do a comparison. There's a lot of merchant services people out there these days. Try to understand it. Get somebody that can help explain that to you, because that's going to help you market internally better and save you some money. Promotion products, we talked about that. There is a company, there's a company that does do cards. For you, if you like the handwritten personal, that's awesome. For those of you who like, oh my God, if you're like me, my handwriting is awful, nobody can read it. There is an online system for, I think it's, $10 a month?
At the cheapest rate,
Yeah, so there's a $10 a month system. For under $1 a card, you can design your own card, by the way, with your logo, with your storefront, with your team and employees on it, so it makes it personal, and send a thank you that says, thanks for coming in. It's simple, it's low key, it's customer service, not marketing. And remember, we're talking about, there's a fine line between marketing and that customer service marketing. So you want to be a little subliminal, okay? So you're reaching out. Customers like to be appreciated. Thank you for buying this. Thank you for coming in. If they didn't buy a thing, we enjoyed seeing you. Hope you had a great trip. See you again soon. Now that's for locals. That's as well as for tourists. The tourist that comes in, a lot of times in a tourist town, we think that, well, they're here once, they're not going to come back. Well, they may not. But if you think in terms of how many people are they going to tell? They're going to tell their friends. I went, that's a great place to go, and there's this little shop here, and there's a little shop there, and okay, that's the goal, to keep the sales up and keep your businesses thriving. Is we want everybody to tell everybody else. So that's what we're talking about from a customer service standpoint. So I'm going to ask you a couple of things. I'm going to open it up for questions. They drag me off the stage. Anybody have any questions? I know I went through that really fast, and I'll be here to answer them afterwards, but please ask. I'm here to help.
I'm Debbie Fox from Fox Fine Jewelry, and I was wondering, can you talk about the mobile apps more as far as what the, just more about them?
Yeah, so mobile
I'm pretty sure that
app-
most people here don't know about mobile apps.
Okay, so you can go to, whether it's you're an iPhone, whether you're a Droid, whatever you use. How many of you have an application of some sort on your phone? Okay, so that application allows you to communicate, or allows the business that you downloaded that app to communicate with you. So it may be a Yelp app. It may be the Foursquare app. It may be, another business's app. Geico has an app. You've seen the Geico commercials, right? Download the app. You can actually get a quote on the phone, or quote through the app. You can do everything through an app. So if you have your own, it goes into the iTunes system. Now, I don't recommend selling your app. I recommend it's the free app, and unless it's something very specific business. But for you guys, you're not going to want to. You look at it as cost of doing business. It's a marketing tool for you. So it goes in the iTunes system, and you put we put keywords or tag words in it, and then the people on iTunes are able to search it. So they can search by area. So they go, oh, I'm in downtown Ventura. What's in downtown Ventura? Or if you're at a tire place and you're having specials on a regular basis, you can push those notifications to everybody that has that app that says, we're having a sale on Tuesday, women's only 10 to noon, or whatever. Okay? Cost-wise, you're looking at probably $600 to $1,000. So, which is great, because used to be, my niece bought an app about 3 years ago, $100,000. So the cost just come dramatically down. But that's the future. That's where we're going. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, as a non-eating establishment that might not be having short-term sales, what kind of information would you put on there that would be beneficial, and then how would you market it? Because people have to get that app, and you have to market it so that they do download.
Well, it's automatically marketed once it's approved. I mean, because you put in your search terms. But let's say do you manufacture jewelry? Do you make your own jewelry? Okay, so how it's made, what it's made out of, all of that information, why is it special? You can also they can actually purchase from your app. So they can actually purchase jewelry from your app. So that's a big thing, especially if you're not local, but that they went home and went, God, I really like that. They can go from there. Yes, sir.
Just a suggestion, you may just want to look into making your existing website mobile optimized.
That's what I'm, yeah.
If you've already got, and you do have, a pretty deep set of information there. Price point at this point can be more than the cost of that app, but at least you're not having to then work to remarket another tool when you've already.
Right. I don't understand
Yeah.
why most people, if you're not I understand for eating business, but for others, it's like if you have a mobile website, then I'm not sure.
Well, there's a difference between having that, which, by the way, how many of you have websites? Okay, if you don't, you might consider, checking into that. But even when you get one, or if you have one now and it's not mobile friendly, get it mobile friendly. That's huge because people are on their iPads. But there's a difference between the having your website mobile friendly, which is just they can see your site and they can purchase, but the app is interactive. So there's a difference. So if they're on your site, if they're on a mobile site, you can't communicate with them or anything, but if they're in your app, you can communicate with them. It's a two-way conversation now versus a one-way. Does that make sense? Yes.
Do you ever do shows with your jewelry? Then if you had an app, you could push out, I'm going to be at Ventura Street Fair, or whatever it is, and then they would come and see you. Whereas with your mobile app, they don't have to go to your mobile site, I'm sorry.
Right.
They have to go to your site to see that, as opposed to being able to push to your customers.
Okay. All right, he's getting ready to cut me off. One more question, and then I'll stay afterwards and answer questions.
I was just going to ask on the Facebook that you said that there's a site that's already loaded for you, and I find that because people go online on Facebook and they'll put in your name, but like my name has a B period on Maine. There's also a B on Maine. There's a Bond Maine. And you said you could merge those. Do you have to continually, constantly?
No, let's talk about that afterwards. So I do have a big favor because I'm with the SBDC. Would you mind? I put these forms on the table. They've asked, how did I do so I can do better? I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to support you guys. So if you don't mind, would you please fill those out, these out, so we can give you a better service and more of what you're wanting from us. And then I also have on here, if any of you would like some help in any way, this is for me and my company. How can we help you? I do social media marketing. I have all these strategic partners that I can at least point you in the right direction. So if you need help with anything, please check it, and we'll get you referred people that they can help within your business. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.